What the Friday? Hey, what the Friday? It's Friday, Friday, Friday. Greetings, royal family. I am back. Happy Friday. If you are watching this on a Friday, happy Friday. If you are new here, my name is Royal B, and we are the royal family. Each and every Friday, I break down a couple of interesting topics and things that happen during the week and just bring them to your attention and we discuss. If you are a returning royal family member, you already know how this goes. Let's get straight into it. First up, Real Housewives of Atlanta drama. So a snake is accused of lying about taping Cynthia Bailey trash talking NeNe Leakes. If you watched my recent Real Housewives of Atlanta review, I said something very similar. But let's move on. Now, this is according to Radar Online. So RadarOnline.com exclusively learned that all the drama may have been based on a lie. So NeNe Leakes, she dropped the bombshell that a friend secretly recorded Cynthia trash talking her, and she was totally furious. Remember when she went out to lunch with Candy? She let Candy know, and that is basically like the big thing that's supposed to be revealed this season on season 12 of Housewives of Atlanta. So insiders snitched to Radar that Yovanna, which many people were suspecting, may have made up a story about the recording. So this snitch or this source says that there is allegedly audio, but to date, no cast member or staffers have heard said audio. This is what the source is saying. Many believe she made it up to keep filming. So this source is basically snitching to Radar and telling Radar, look, it's been said that there's this recording, but NeNe kind of made this up just so that she can keep filming. Now, this would make sense because what would be NeNe's storyline? You know, what would be NeNe's storyline? And if it's not true, then obviously this is somebody who is not fond of NeNe and trying to spread a rumor. So according to the source, the validity of the tape doesn't really matter to the Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies. The OG of the ATL, which is NeNe, vowed to keep Yovanna's identity secret, but said in her confessional that she knew the details of what was on the recording. She did say this in her confessional. Now, again, I said recently in my Housewives review that this so-called recording is going to be talked about for the entire season. This is exactly what I said. And that we probably will never hear it. So be sure to go and check out my last review on Real Housewives. RHOA. I'm tongue-tied. I'm excited. It's Friday. So that's what I think. I think that this is a good storyline and they're hyping it up even before the season started. Remember? Oh, this recording. We heard about this recording. And I also said, if there really was a recording, we probably would have heard pieces of it, or somebody would have come out and say, oh yeah, you know, I heard the recording, other than NeNe, of course. So I think that this is very well going to be something that is going to be reiterated throughout the season, and we're going to go around and around and around, and we probably will never hear the recording. So that's interesting that Radar Online posted that, because when I saw it, I said to myself, I said the same thing in my review. So you ain't doing a good job fooling us, Bravo and NeNe, if this is your little storyline plot. Next up, Beyonce's daddy is talking to the press. He's got a book to sell, and he is going to sell this book by any means necessary. So he was basically saying that Beyonce was harassed by members of Jagged Edge while on the Destiny's Child tour. So this portion of this was from the blast. So 67-year-old Matthew Knowles, Beyonce deity, sat down with Vlad TV to talk about a variety of topics and promote his new book called Destiny's Child, The Untold Story. That was real creative, Matthew. Anyway, so obviously you guys know that he used to manage Beyonce and Destiny's Child. You know, that is real shady. I did not know, when I was coming up, the name of the group was Destiny's Child. It was never Beyonce and Destiny's Child. But I guess here they're meaning that he managed Beyonce outside of Destiny's Child. Anyway, it just seems a little shady. So during the sit down, Matthew Knowles, dropped the bombshell claim that two members of Jagged Edge behaved inappropriately with then 16-year-old Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. He said that the incident went down 20 years ago when Destiny's Child was touring with Jagged Edge on the same bus. Now, he also claims that Beyonce and Kelly would constantly call him, saying they were being harassed by two members. Matthew said, now remember, the girls are minors. They're 16 years old. The guys are 21 and 22 years old. I got a call from Kelly and Beyonce saying that they were constantly being harassed by two of the members in Jagged Edge. This is what Matthew Knowles is saying. He continues, I couldn't have that. I literally had to put the guys off the bus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He added, I have a fiduciary duty with minors by the law. There's a certain way I have to manage that. Now, he didn't reveal who the two members of Jagged Edge were that were allegedly harassing Kelly and Beyonce. Now, you know Beyonce's not going to say nothing. Her father has been in the press for a number of reasons, and she doesn't confirm nor deny anything. She just stays quiet. Beyonce's going through her own issues. She is fighting a lawsuit with a lady in... I reported on this before, but a lady who owns a floral shop. I don't know if it's in New York, but I did report on it on another What the Friday video, because she wants to trademark Blue Ivy, but the lady has a flower shop named Blue Ivy Floral something. So they're going through a legal battle with that. Now, new information came to me regarding this because I was going to stop there. But according to the source, the official Jagged Edge account shared a meme that read, a lie, don't care who tell it. So this was one of the, Brian Casey, that's one of the members of Jagged Edge. He posted that, a meme that said, a lie, don't care who tell it, in response, obviously, to what Matthew Knowles is saying. Brian Casey posted the same meme with more insight in the caption. One thing I have learned from my 20 plus years in this business, and it's always something, he wrote. It's actually funny how far people will go to sell something. Like I said, Matthew has a book that he's promoting. So Brian Casey, one of the Jagged Edge group members, is saying it's just crazy how far somebody will go to sell something. He said, he goes on to say, type LOL, but I give all praises to the Most High at all times. Shalawam, loved ones. Now, I'm moving on from this because to me, alleging that somebody sexually harassed you or your child or your family member is obviously serious allegations, right? So I just hope Matthew knows what the heck he's doing and he really isn't lying. Now, I am going to say this. If you want the full detail, and I'm talking about with receipts and just the full detail, you guys need to check out Chronicles Speaks, plural, 2 separate words. Now, when I tell you that she dug deep and pulled up some interesting facts, again, that makes Matthew's story look suspect. So again, Chronicles Speaks. Great commentary, informative, insightful, but she went back. Like, I'm talking about dates. Matthew Knowles said that Beyonce was this age, and she fact checked, and she even went back to, remember when Jagged Edge did their Unsung, and they were talking about why they got kicked off the bus, and it didn't have anything to do with Matthew Knowles and Destiny's Child. I'm telling you, check out Chronicles Speaks video. Chronicles Speaks, that's 2 separate words. All right, so I'm moving along. Now, fans call for LIZZO to be banned from the Staples Center. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen the videos. They have seen the pictures. They have seen blog posts, etc., etc. Now, this is according to Baller Alert, okay? So concerns were transferred to the arena managers that were on duty the day that LIZZO showed up to the LA Lakers game. So LIZZO made headlines after her backside appearance at the LA Lakers game. So sometime during the game, the Laker girls took to the court to perform the singer's hit song, Juice. During the performance, Lizzo stood up and danced along. When she noticed herself on the Jumbotron, the singer turned around to twerk. Although the moment seemed innocent, many were opposed to the singer's choice of attire. Lizzo sported a long t-shirt dress with an oval cut out of the butt area, which exposed her thong and fishnets, as well as her cheeks. The incident sparked a widespread debate on appropriate attire for a family-friendly event. In fact, some fans even took to social media to call for Lizzo to be banned from the legendary Staples Arena. Although the fate of Lizzo's viral moment has yet to be revealed, sources at the Staples Center told Baller Alert that all questions and concerns have been transferred to the managers on duty for that day, adding that those supervisors in particular had recently gathered for a meeting. But at this time, Lizzo has not been banned. All right, let's talk about this. A lot of people were saying, you know, right on, Lizzo, you go, girl. Women empowerment, body positivity. Lizzo can do whatever she wants to do. Lizzo can wear whatever she wants to wear. Nobody's saying that that's false. She can do whatever she wants. She can wear whatever she wants. Fine. But I am curious to know, how is Lizzo displaying women empowerment or body positivity by having her backside on display and then also twerking while her entire backside is out? I'm a woman, and I didn't feel empowered by this. I really didn't. And I do recall, this reminded me of when Janet Jackson performed at the Super Bowl with Justin Timberlake. Remember that? And remember when they had a wardrobe malfunction, meaning Justin Timberlake ripped off a piece of her costume, exposing her breast. Janet Jackson was scrutinized and banned. Justin Timberlake wasn't banned. She was heavily scrutinized. And Justin Timberlake wasn't banned from the Super Bowl or anything like that. And I think that was wrong, first of all, right? She didn't even expose herself, but she was banned. Even Bette Midler recently went public and said that Justin Timberlake, because he's been in the media lately, but Bette Midler still feels that Justin Timberlake owes Janet Jackson an apology, and I wholeheartedly agree. Anyway, back to Lizzo. So you mean to tell me that Janet Jackson can, and she was performing, can be banned because someone else exposed her breasts, but Lizzo shouldn't be banned? I agree that she should be banned for a short period of time just so she could learn her lesson. She was cheered on by everybody. Like, a lot of people were cheering her on. And I'm just like, why are y'all lying to this girl? It's like cheering on your drunk friends while they're making total fools of themselves and you're like sober watching it. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people had things to say like, oh, there were children there. There were children there. And see, I get that, but that's not my argument. I have the right to not be visually assaulted by anybody. I don't care your size, your shape, your color, your creed, your religion, your political preference. I don't care. I have the right to not be visually assaulted. And I think that this is, it was in poor taste. And people who are cheering her on and saying, you people are fat shaming her. You people are, and there might be some people who are fat shaming her, let's be honest, right? But that's not the angle that I'm coming from. I'm speaking for myself. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see anybody of any size have their cheeks out. Not to mention the sanitary, anybody else? Think about that. Anybody else thought about that? You have your bare backside on public seating. Like, somebody else has to sit there. That's like unsanitary. Like, no, is it just me? And you don't know what's on that seat. You could have got like a infection, a skin infection, or somebody else sitting down there. You don't know how well they clean these stadiums. I've gone to plenty of basketball games, pretty beautiful stadiums, it looks like on TV, but they're disgusting. Anyway, I have a question that I want to pose. How many of you, for the same people who are cheering on Lizzo, how many of you would cheer on one of your family members if they showed up to the Christmas family dinner or your child's Christmas play in the same exact outfit that Lizzo wore? How many? Right? Imagine it's Christmas time, family dinner, and Cousin Pam is standing by the dessert table with her cakes out. Would you give Cousin Pam a high five, or would that be inappropriate for a family function? See, let me know in the comments and keep it real. I just don't feel that being a confident person goes hand in hand with you exposing your body parts, like, wearing a sheer dress where we could see your areolas and your private area and your backside. Like, you basically just have on a sheer cover. I don't feel like that's synonymous with being confident. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder, like, was this like a stunt? Was this planned? Was this staged? And the reason why I say that is because, yeah, even though Lizzo is famous, she probably has a separate entrance into the venue than the general public, and that's fine. But security escorted her to her seat. So security, you didn't see that big gaping cutout in her backside? Like, how is that okay? Like, how does security say, all right, you're good to go? Let me tell you something. If it was a man, I am pretty sure, or if it was just a regular individual that didn't have that much notoriety, I'm pretty sure the consequences and the reaction might have been different, especially if it was a male. I just think about, like, if I did something like this, me, I'm not Lizzo. I'm not a famous singer or anything like that. If I did this, I can guarantee you that security would escort me and my flapjacks out of that arena in handcuffs. I know it. Like, I don't know. It just seems like confidence and insecurity can sometimes be dressed up as the same. And I'll just leave it at that. For me personally, it has nothing to do with your size. It just has to do with the way that you carry yourself. And when you think of body positivity, how do we get body positivity with showing your body, the most private parts of your body, to everyone in a public setting like that, like a game? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm sure plenty of you will have opinions. That's fine, as long as you're respectful. Moving along. Drea, last name begins with a K, plans to sue Lifetime for using her image in the new Surviving RHOA, you know who I'm talking about, documentary. Now, this is according to the Jasmine brand. So the attention behind the 4-part special is credited for leading to RHOA's multiple arrests this year. So you guys remember Surviving RHOA? You know what I'm talking about. The documentary where a lot of people were interviewed and statements were given and allegations were made, and it leaded up to RHOA being arrested and charged with a whole bunch of crimes, right? So Lifetime is planned. Now, it was a huge success. I think it was nominated for some award, and everybody was talking about it. The ratings were through the roof. I think Lifetime hadn't seen ratings like that in a long, long time. So what better way to capitalize off of all of this momentum than to make a part 2, right? So Lifetime is making a part 2. So Drea is not here for it, okay? And she definitely threatened to sue Lifetime over this part 2 documentary. Now, she called out the network on Wednesday, December 11th, for using an old photo of her from the original promotion for the documentary in their part 2, the promotions in the part 2. So she's not a part of part 2, but they're using her photos to promote part 2 as if she's going to be a part of it. And part 2 is going to be called The Reckoning. I mean, oh my God, so dramatic. So Drea said that the network has a lawsuit coming their way for making viewers believe she was involved with the second part. She also added, she had a lot to say. When they brought the idea to me, this is Drea, I let them know that in no way, shape, form, or fashion will I be a part of it. They reached out to my children, without my permission. They reached out to my family members without my permission. And then when I brought it to them that I didn't want them to contact my children, they did it anyway. So she let them know, look, I want no parts to do with this part 2. But Lifetime was like, yeah, that's good and everything. So they reached out to her children. But I don't think any of her kids are minors. They reached out to her kids, her families. So they totally bypassed and ignored what she requested. She continued and said that the network allegedly did little to nothing to provide care for the women who came forward after they shared their stories on national TV. She referenced an alleged BOMB threat. I don't know if I can say that on here. Remember when they had the screening for the original docuseries in New York, and somebody called in a threat, a B threat, and everybody had to evacuate because they were basically trying to stop this from being seen by people and then greenlit to be aired on Lifetime for the rest of the public. So Drea says that she is not happy with the aftercare and how the victims and survivors were handled throughout this entire process. Even down to the threat that was in New York, they put us on a bus, transported us back to the hotel, which were under our names, no aliases, no security. Then we go off to the airport the next day, no security. So this is what Drea is expressing her dissatisfaction with how, I guess, the producers of Lifetime handled her and the other ladies who came forward to tell their alleged stories. There's no support for the women and the survivors coming forward. She said Lifetime moved on after the success of the initial docuseries. Of course. Do you know how many ratings they got? Look it up. They broke records. They have never seen that many ratings in their history. So of course they're going to capitalize off. You think that they care? You think that Lifetime and those producers and, big wigs, investors, you think their objective was to save these women? No, it's all about money, sweetie. You didn't know that? Girl, please. So of course they're going to, especially now in the height of what's going on with RHOA, people are coming out left and right. His women's in them. Things seem to be falling apart. He's behind bars. Of course they're going to capitalize off of this. What did you expect? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what did you expect? You can't be that naive, Dre. Like, seriously. You cannot be that naive. Moving along, she goes on to say, it was pretty much, we got our ratings, we got our marketing dollars, we got our numbers, goodbye, see ya, whatever happens, happens. Lisa Van Allen, she was also a part of the original docuseries. She spoke out on Instagram. Now, she made a post on Instagram, and it goes like this. Lifetime has decided to include me in the promo for their follow-up, even though I respectfully declined to be a part of part 2. I didn't approve and was unaware of any use of my face, name, footage, stills, new or old, of my likeness to promote the show or to be on the show. So they use old footage of me. This is very deceptive to the viewers. Among other things, a whole bunch of stuff that's deceptive to the viewers anyway. She added that should she be included in a special again, she would be more hands-on. She goes on to say, if I'm a part of any other TV show, documentary, etc., I will have some creative control. I will not be put in a box. I'm past that. And I earned that right, to be in control of my own content. You tell them, girl. It is clear to me that they are concerned with the views. Duh. You didn't, nobody caught on to this when you guys sat down to gather information for the initial documentary? Or is it because the name Lifetime, you thought like, oh yes, this is a woman's channel. They're going to fight for my rights. You cannot be that naive. I refuse to believe that you're that naive. Now they lack integrity and loyalty. This is what Lisa Van Allen is saying. A surviving RHOA part 2 isn't helping more victims of abuse. But I will be. See y'all soon. My team and I have things in the works. Well. It's interesting that none of this was taken into consideration when you sat down for part 1. Like, I don't get it. I can't say, I don't know. I don't even want to go there because then I'll be on here for a very long time and I need to wrap this up because it's Friday. But this is really interesting to me. To me, it seems like, I'm going to tell you what I think. Never mind, I'm not talking about the allegations and what anybody did in the past. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm strictly talking about the fact that Drea is not interested and did not want to participate in part 2. And also Lisa Van Allen was adamant that she didn't want to participate in part 2. And also that she stated that the Lifetime producers and stuff did not provide any security for her or the other victims who was a part of the docuseries. So when you were checked into your hotel and you noticed that the hotel wasn't under an alias, you didn't say nothing. When you noticed that you didn't have security, you didn't say anything. Like, what was that meeting like? She said that Lifetime approached her. Okay, that very well may be true. But what is it? Did they promise you a bag? And you was just basically blinded by the green and dead presidents that you didn't care to ask these questions? I think that it did not go as planned for Drea. I'm speaking for Drea. I think that she has every right to tell her story, but I think that she did not get what she had hoped to get out of this. And that's probably why she doesn't want to be a part of part 2. The only thing that we saw is you going on a campaign to different media outlets and telling your story, which had many holes in it because you got defensive. You know, I would see on radio shows and on television shows where you were interviewed, you would get very defensive and your story had multiple holes in it. And I think people caught on to some of the gimmicky behavior that you displayed when you were out in the public and you were on Growing Up Hip Hop. What are you doing on Growing Up Hip Hop? She was on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. And I'm just saying to myself, how is this going to benefit your daughter, who one of her daughters didn't even want to be a part of the show? I don't know. The gimmicks and the tricks, it seems like it didn't work. Or it could be maybe because you got your back child support, so now you don't care. And as far as Lifetime not helping the victims, see, what did you do to help the victims? Because word on the street is you had no contact with any of the other women that were on the first part of the documentary. Like, you didn't talk to them. You guys didn't sit in a room and kiki and chit chat. You had nothing to do with them. You were completely separated from everybody else because you wanted nothing to do with them, according to you. So why didn't you pull some of your resources together, throw fundraisers, do a GoFundMe to pull together resources for support for these victims? How is that Lifetime's responsibility? Lifetime is a television network, not Dr. Phil. You know what I'm saying? They're not psychologists. They're a television network. So what did you... I don't know. This lawsuit could go either way. She might have a case, though, if they are using her, her information and she has proof that she declined being a part of part 2. She might have a case, but girl, you just got that child support money. You really want to spend that money tied up in court? I don't know. You gave a statement. That should be good enough. I mean, if Lifetime proceeds to use it, then like they move forward and they use it, then I guess. But I don't know. I have too much to say about this entire situation. But I am going to leave it there because, you know, a wise woman told me a long time ago, you just have to know when to shut up. Royal family, this What the Friday video comes to a close. Like this video if you like it. If you made it to the end, thank you for your support. Don't forget, each and every Friday, no particular time, we meet here. Make sure your notifications are on if you are subscribed. Let me know what you think in the comments about any of the aforementioned topics for this week. Please keep it respectful. No profanity in the chat. People express themselves differently, but I am asking that you respect this platform and please do not use any derogatory terms or profanity in the chat. I have been saying this in every one of my videos as far as my comments are concerned, and it is something that I am serious about, not just because of the changes that are going on in YouTube now, but since I started my platform, I've made that very clear. So you can disagree, no issue there. Please do so respectfully. Royal family, I'm signing off. Until next time, peace.